All right, what's going on, fellas? So today I'm going to be talking about something in relationships that I like to call my insurance plan, okay? And this by no means is advice. Do not take this as advice. I'm just talking about myself, my insurance plan, okay? Because this is pretty toxic, and I don't want to be the reason why you're a toxic man. If you're a nice guy, listen, I'm a nice guy as well, okay? But if you're a nice guy, I'm not going to be the reason why you go from the red Spider-Man to the black Spider-Man, right? I'm not going to be the reason why that happens. I'm just talking about myself, okay? This is not advice. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So what is my insurance plan? What is insurance in general, right? When you have a car, what are you expected to have? Insurance in case of a crash, right? If you get into a crash, what do they ask you for? Your insurance, right? There was a crash. You're expected to have insurance. Me, when I get into a relationship, I have something called my insurance plan, okay? If I slightly have a suspicion that my woman is cheating, I'm fucking another bitch, okay? I don't give a fuck. Listen, if I have the slightest suspicion, because I know how grimy women are, listen, I've been the guy where, I've had a woman in front of me, legs spread wide open. Meanwhile, she has a whole husband. I know how grimy women are. I know 9 times out of 10, women have dirt in relationships. So I have something called an insurance plan. Listen, if you woke up today and usually your hair is straight, but one fucking hair is curly, I'm fucking another bitch. I don't get, but oh my God, but I didn't mean to. Listen, hey, you should have been more mindful about that fucking hair. You should have straightened that hair because now that one strand of hair on your head is curly. So now I have to go fuck another bitch. Okay? And if you didn't do anything, cool, we're good, no worries. At least we're good now, right? But if you did do something, I have the peace of mind because there's nothing worse than being fucking loyal to a woman and finding out that she was going. Finding out another man had her in every fucking position you can think of. Meanwhile, you were over here sitting at home like this. Yeah, my woman would never. My woman is loyal. My woman would never do something like that to me. And I'm not talking about like real red flags. Like if I see a woman texting another man, I told her that, hey, no male friends in this relationship, and I see her hanging out with some man, she's cut off. I'm talking about like little minor shit, little minor shit that even gives me the slightest bit of suspicion. Hey, it is what it is. That's my insurance plan, okay? I have to do what I have to do. Why? Because I understand how grimy women are, how grimy women can be, okay? I'm going to say can be because then there's going to be some people in the comments saying, oh, women aren't bad. I'm not saying all women are bad, but I'm just saying, and if any woman is watching this, you know damn well women can be pretty conniving, right? They have their secrets that most men will not find out about, okay? And it's not until you've been that guy on the other side to where she is sneaking off with you to where you can see, right? You get a little bit of PTSD. You get a little traumatized. You're like, oh shit. Like, this is what she's doing with me. Like, if I get into a relationship, my chick might be doing the same thing, right? That's the thing. Some of you motherfuckers want to be players, this and that, right? Listen, some of you guys just are not ready for it because you will be exposed to some things that once you have seen it, you cannot unsee it. And then moving forward, you get into a fucking relationship. You're in a relationship with a woman. You think you're going to trust this woman when you've been with other women who have done shit to their husbands, to their boyfriends, whatever the case may be? No, you see reality for what it is. Because at the end of the day, reality is not when everything is sunshine and rainbows. Reality is when things go bad. That is reality, okay? That is what reality can boil down to. So, like I said, my insurance plan, listen, if you normally take, breaths, if you normally blink at a rate of, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, cool. But then one day, for some reason, maybe you have dust in your eye or some shit, right? Maybe you have dust in your eye and you normally blink like this, but the next day you blink like this. Oh shit. Oh nah, this bitch is cheating. She's cheating. She probably just went and sucked another dick. Why the fuck did she blink like that? Okay, it's time. About to strap on my boots, right? Listen, I'm gonna give you a call, right? Call you up. I don't give a fuck if you normally pick up right away. This day, for some reason, you had a whole bunch of shit in your hands, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I gotta pick up my phone. While you're trying to get to the phone, I'm like, this is not normal. This is a red flag. 1 second later than she normally picks up. Well, it's time. It's time to go get my insurance plan, call up Allstate, and get my shit settled before the crash happens, right? Because that way, once the crash, if it ever does get to that point, I got my insurance. The same way that when you put on a seatbelt, right? Excuse me, damn. The same way when you put on a seatbelt, you're not expecting a crash, but you're just saying, hey, if I get into a crash, I got my seatbelt, I got my insurance. If I crash and I total my car, I can call up the insurance and they can compensate me for some shit, right? And at least, if for some reason some woman were to think that she got some type of dirt on me, right? At least the score is not like 1-0. I'm not in the O category, okay? I will never be in the O category. And for any woman watching this and being like, oh my goodness, that's so toxic. Listen, baby, don't worry, because I'm not trying to get into no relationship. So you're safe. You're safe. I don't want no relationships. I don't want no relationships, for who knows? Who knows how long? I'm just focused on me. I'm focused on my work. I'm focused on myself. That's it. Right now, I don't want no relationships. If I date some chicks, I'll date. I'll have my fun here and there, but I'm not trying to have nothing serious, so it's okay. I don't even need my insurance plan. I'm just talking about if I were to get into a relationship. My insurance plan is just something that gives me peace of mind, something that at least helps me sleep at night, because there's no worse feeling on this planet than finding out. Some of you motherfuckers scroll through a woman's phone and you didn't have your insurance plan, and then all of a sudden you see a video of her bouncing on some meat, sucking on some meat, and you're over here like, damn, I was being loyal all this time. What the hell? I was telling all my friends. I was telling my boy, yeah, my woman would never, bro. My woman would never. And my boys, they were looking at me. They were chuckling. They were like, this guy, get a load of this guy. And I was like, no. And I was defending my woman. I was telling them, no, my woman would never. Next thing you know, scrolling through her phone, heart drops to your ass. You're over here furious because you didn't have your insurance plan. And you're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? At least if you had your insurance plan, you'd be like, oh, shit, okay. But listen, like I said, this is not advice. It's not advice. Don't sit here and think that I'm giving you some advice. I usually do get on here and give guys advice. This video was just me, I just wanted to share my candid thoughts on what I like to call my insurance plan, okay? And I know there's going to be some guys in the comments saying, oh, that's bad, blah, 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 right? Oh, my goodness. Hey, you do whatever you want with your life. I don't care what you do with your life, right? Maybe you like to wear tighty-whities. Hey, that's on you. I don't agree with it. I think you look like a dork. I think that shit looks gay. But if that's what you want to do, that's cool, right? I'm not over here judging you for wearing your tighty-whities. I don't judge you because you want to wear a fucking thong. Whatever the fuck you want to do with your life, you do it, okay? I'm just talking about myself, okay? Me, Mr. Nice Guy, talking about my insurance plan. So don't take this as advice. But yeah, women can be slimy. Women can be grimy. Women can, have their secrets, which I believe that every woman has their secrets, okay? I don't believe that there's a woman on this earth that has no secrets, right? Whether it's a guy that she talked to at work when she was mad, right? Maybe she talked to him a little more friendlier than she was supposed to. She keeps that a secret, right? Maybe they went in a car and spoke about some shit. She keeps that a secret, right? Maybe they had a lunch together. She keeps that a secret, right? And this is just things that you'll never find out about And I'm not saying to go out there and start trying to surveillance your woman, right? If you're going to be on that surveillance shit, you might as well just not be in a relationship. I'm just telling you the reality of what it is. Most of you, if you've worked a job, you've seen a woman that has a boyfriend. Be honest. If you've worked a job, you've seen a woman that has a boyfriend be friendly with a bunch of guys. And I'm not talking about friendly as in cordial, like, hey, how are you doing, John? No. Like, she's a little more friendly with this guy than she should be, right? She has a boyfriend. She shouldn't be this friendly. But guess what? Women have their secrets. And this is just human nature. You can't trust anybody. You cannot trust people because guess what? People will do shit. People have a lack of integrity. People don't have loyalty. And I just understand it for what it is, right? I would like for the world to be all peaches and cream where everyone is fucking loyal and you can trust your woman 100%. But that's not the world that we live in. I see the world for what it is. And it is what it is. That's my motto. It is what it is. If that's what the world is, and it is what it is, right? But I'm not about to be in a fucking boxing match where the fucking opponent is wearing brass knuckles. They got shit in their glove that they're not supposed to be wearing. They're hitting you behind the head when they're not supposed to. And I'm supposed to be playing fair, right? You're playing fair. Meanwhile, the other person is playing dirty. Then guess what? You're going to get fucked up. But, motherfucker has some brass knuckles. Okay, cool. Let me get my motherfucking brass knuckles in here too. Oh, yeah? You thought you were about to get one up on me? Okay, cool. All right. No worries, right? I got a trick up my sleeve too, baby, right? It is what it is. That's reality. Unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. You got to understand that women are going to have their secrets that they take to the grave, right? I've had women in the past, as a matter of fact, tell me shit. Put it on their dead father, right? I swear, crying actual tears running down her face. Oh, I put it on my dead father, whatever the case may be, blah, 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 right? Next thing you know, after a while, link up with shorty once again after a minute, right? When you link up with a chick after y'all haven't talked for a minute or whatever the case may be, she's probably going to be a little more honest. Why? Because maybe she's not emotionally attached or emotionally invested anymore, as opposed to when she is emotionally invested and she is emotionally attached. She's not going to tell you the truth. She's going to keep those secrets. Why? Because she still has something that she wants. She still wants you in her life, even though she might have some secrets. She still wants you in her life. She still, wants to be in a relationship with you. Even if she's thinking about leaving you or whatever the case may be, right? Women do that. They'll still keep you. That's their insurance plan. Women will have their own insurance plan too. They will keep you. They'll talk to you. They'll continue whatever it is they got going on with you. But if they're unhappy, then they'll start doing some shit on the side, right? Until they fully decide, okay, yeah, let me cut this off. That's why women move on quicker. It's not that she just fucking walked outside and all of a sudden she found a new man. No, she was already building that shit on the side. That's what you need to understand. And they'll never admit it. But this is the truth. You can't fool a motherfucker who sees the world for what it is, right? Women will sit there and tell you everything you want to hear. Oh, yeah, but guess what? If you don't see the world for what it is, you'll buy into that shit. I wouldn't buy that shit if it was 50% off. But back to the point, right? When you link up with a chick after a minute of, not speaking, guess what? 9 times out of 10, she's going to be more honest. So I've had a woman put shit on her dead dad, cry in my face. Next thing I know, I find out I was right and she was lying, right? Because, after a while, some women will admit partial truth, right? They still won't admit all the way. Like I said, women will take shit to the grave. They will never fully admit, yes, I did this and this and that. But they'll give you a bit of it, right? Okay, so this is what happened, right? They won't give you the truth. They won't fully incriminate themselves. It's like a criminal who got brought into the interrogation room for murder. And instead of being like, Yes, I was there and I murdered. No, I was there, but I left at this time conveniently, right? The murder happened at 10 o'clock, and I was there. I was a part of the group, but conveniently, I left at 9:30, right? To tell you a bit of the truth. Just a little bit of the truth. To just stray you off into a different path. So you start chasing this fucking red herring and you're like, oh shit, okay. So he left at 9:30. Okay, that means that he's not guilty. No, he's fucking lying. Same way that these women lie. They'll tell you a bit of the truth. But guess what? I've seen it. I've seen it many times, I've seen women put shit on their dead dad, be capping. I've had women legs spread wide open, right? Coochie all out, right? And husbands at home. Husband, put a fucking ring on that shit. All that shit. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how crazy that is. You meet a woman, right? You meet a woman. You guys develop a connection. After a while, she pushes for a relationship because she doesn't want to be seen as a thought that's just fucking around, right? She's the one that wants the relationship, so she's like, let's get into a relationship. Let's get into a relationship, right? Because she doesn't just want to fuck without a title. She wants to at least get something from it. Because if she doesn't get the title, then she's like, oh shit, he's fucking other women. What do I get that's different? What makes me special? Let me get a relationship. Boom, cool. Now she gets a relationship. Next thing, okay, now you guys date for a while, a few years, whatever the case may be, right? Next thing, oh shit, well, other women have gotten a relationship out of him. What can I get next that makes me special, right? Well, marriage. Let me get a ring. Okay, cool. The man goes out there. He fucking works hard, makes his money. He pays for the wedding. He pays for the ring. He pays for all this shit. Marries this woman, calls her his wife. Tells everybody in his family we're married. Tells all the people around, oh yeah, we're married. That's my wife. That's my wife. Next thing you know, she's in a hotel room with her legs spread wide open with a fucking guy who's in his 20s. Meanwhile, she's in her 30s. And like that's just crazy. That's crazy. But I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've lived it. And that's why I have my insurance plan. Call it what you want. Say what you want. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, your opinion does not change how I live. Your opinion does not change what I've seen and what I've experienced. Right? Because the motherfuckers who've seen it and experienced it, they understand what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I mean. They're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. I've seen it. I've experienced it. But the guys who haven't, they're living in la la land. And they're going to be like, oh, no, my woman would never. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's my insurance plan. Not advice. Don't follow this advice. Just me sharing. Just a nice guy sharing my thoughts, my healthy practices in a relationship. And, how I keep my keep my mental peace. Okay? I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.